Picture this. It's 2018. COVID doesn't exist. The world isn't on the brink of war. And you walk down to the local theater with some friends to catch the latest Jurassic World movie. Remember, this was before the franchise was dragged through the mud, so there's some excitement in the air. You get your popcorn and drink, watch the movie, the credits roll, and then and there you decide that at some point in your life, you will tell the world about this horrible movie experience.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
With the final Jurassic World movie being released and finally putting an end to this trilogy, I thought it right to take the time to talk about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The film has a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb, which is just way too much. Like if a 10 out of 10 is a perfect film, like Hot Fuzz, and a 0 out of 10 is something you wouldn't even recommend to people as a joke, like Legion, a 5 out of 10 would be that middle ground that's like, yeah, I might recommend this to a friend who's into this type of movie. And to be clear, I would not recommend this film to dinosaur lovers. In fact, if you like dinosaurs, you'd be better off just avoiding this movie. Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a score of 47%, and wait, did they actually give Dominion a worse score? Is it really that bad? Should I have made this video on that movie? Because I really hate Fallen Kingdom, but Jesus, it can't get worse, can it? Look, Fallen Kingdom is a boring mess filled with stupid characters and CGI that's so close to getting you, but just doesn't. So let's go through Fallen Kingdom together as I demonstrate to you why this movie is one of the worst movies ever made. Spoilers. Hey guys, Editing Minwood here, and I just wanted to quickly point out that I went over to YouTube to get some B-roll footage from the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom trailer, and I scrolled down, which I really shouldn't have, and started reading the comments, and look at these things. They are horrible. These are the worst. Listen to this. Oh god, that scene with the T-Rex roaring, I swear I love these movies forever and ever. I just watched the movie in the cinema and it was absolutely amazing. I couldn't move my eyes from the screen. It made me cry, which sounds a bit sad, but in a way it sheds light on how we actually treat animals today. I just want to point out to anyone who's watching this video to look out for these types of comments because these are NPCs. These are not real human beings. I swear real human beings do not watch that movie, come to these conclusions, and then go to a trailer and write in the trailer comment section how good of a movie it was. These people aren't real. They aren't real. We are living among NPCs. Stay safe.
You stupid.
They're not.
So we started off with what could have been a pretty sick opening scene of a group of people looking to retrieve some DNA samples from the dinosaurs of the last movie. The visuals are there, the tension is building, but for some reason it isn't enough and the writers decided that everyone involved needs to be an idiot. It's a reoccurring theme.
Relax. Anything in here be dead by now.
How do you know that? It's literally the first line of the film and it's already wrong. There is no way they wouldn't have the intel that there were water dinosaurs in the park that could potentially have survived. I get that they might have starved, but to just assume there's nothing seems like an oversight. Because if there is something, it definitely would be hungry and oh, there it is. While those goons get chomped, we then cut to the surface where Dimwit here doesn't seem to understand he's in danger despite the group of people shouting at him.
What is going on? I can't hear you!
It doesn't matter if you can hear what they're saying. When you're standing on a dinosaur-infested island and people are all shouting at you, you get the fuck out of there. This should be obvious. The guy then decides to run in a zigzag instead of just sprinting away from the dinosaur, like the opposite of what Rickon did, and it somehow works? Wow, look at that, he got away. It's not like anything predictable will happen. Oh, there it is. So you get what I mean when I say it could have been a good opening? Like, take away the stupidity of everyone involved, and we have ourselves an action-packed opening. The horror of the sea dinosaur is awesome, and I feel the tension would have been better if the characters assumed something could be down there with them. And the surface stuff would have been better if maybe the guy running first saw the dinosaur and his screaming alerted the helicopter to start taking off in a panic. Like, just remove the nonsense. It isn't necessary at all to have all this miscommunication, leaving the viewer in a state of frustration as the characters do everything wrong. This is the type of title sequence I would expect from like a Bionicles movie. Like, am I wrong? So, the real movie begins with a bunch of exposition on how the volcano on the dinosaur island is active and is going to kill everything. Really? They went and built a theme park on an island with an active volcano? No one thought, hey, maybe we should use anywhere else? But the movie tries to save itself by saying, oh, it was long dormant, but it's active now, which, like, sure, you need a plot, there it is. The volcano, which had never been mentioned before this film, is now active, effectively undoing everything in the first movie. You remember the first Jurassic World movie, right? Where the park goes to shit and everyone has to bail? Not a bad film. Well, turns out if literally none of the events took place, the park will still go to shit and everyone would still have to bail. The only impact that the first movie would have on the second is the established relationship between Owen and Claire. Oh wait, they broke up again, didn't they? None of it really mattered, did it? We then get some fan service as Jeffy Boy here talks on a panel regarding whether the United States should interfere to save the dinosaurs or let them die. Jeff then says,
I think that we should allow our magnificent, glorious dinosaurs to be taken out by the volcano. Murderer.
Wait, who the fuck called him a murderer? I'm all for helping animals and endangered species, but I feel like that was a tad much for someone who's considered an expert in this field. So then Claire gets recruited to help save the dinosaurs on the island because her handprint is needed to bypass some security checkpoints, but then she, in turn, needs to recruit Owen so that they can save the raptor known as Blue. We then discovered that the couple who had broken up in the first movie and then got back together had broken up again. You'll never guess what happens at the end of this one. And Claire guilts Owen into helping by making him, and the audience, feel horrible for even considering not saving the endangered dinosaurs. Trust me, we'll get to why this is ridiculous later on in the video. Our team arrives on the island and we are introduced to a character who will be known from this point on as Military Man. And you know what? Good for this movie. Finally, a military type character that isn't just some horrible, unethical asshole. They're already driving, my guy, you don't need to keep waving them on. So once the team is deep into dinosaur territory, the character who will be known as Vet Girl decides to jump out of the vehicle despite being informed that it's dangerous. I mean, I know they're small, but the truck has windows. Your whole job here is to recover dinosaurs. I'm sure you'll see plenty up close.
Look at that. Never thought I'd see one in real life.
That's kind of depressing as a viewer of this film. To have a character be like, wow, this experience is amazing. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here knowing it's CGI, so the whole moment doesn't really do anything for me.
How much longer until...
I'm in. He said it! Once inside the facility, they use some tracking technology to locate Blue. Owen informs everyone that he needs to go alone because the raptor can smell people from very far away, and he's the only one that will be able to get close.
Wheatley, I'm on fresh sign. Wait for my signal.
You don't need to track Fresh Prince, Owen. You literally have a tracker of the thing. Just keep listening to wherever Claire tells you to go. When Owen finds Blue and attempts to do his goofy you-know-me exercise, it gets interrupted by the military guys showing up and drugging the raptor. So, I guess Owen didn't need to go alone? Like, these guys were clearly right behind him, so what happened to the raptor's ability to smell? I guess it was just distracted? And what is that PG-13 death? That's like YouTube levels of acceptable. I hope. Anyways, look at that. Military Man turned out to be a military type. You can imagine my disappointment. I was also pretty confused as to what transpired next. Like, this scene was pretty odd. Owen gets angry and Military Man shoots him with a tranquilizer. Sure, I assume this was just to pacify Owen while they went back to the base. But then Vet Girl grabs a gun and tells them they need her alive to care for Blue? It was only then did I realize that these guys were straight up planning on murdering these two and leaving. Was that really the only way? The whole plan was to work together to get the animals off the island. So why backstab anyone? Why not leave the island all holding hands and just don't tell Owen and Claire and the rest that the dinosaurs were actually going to be sold off in an auction? I feel like that saves you the trouble of, I don't know, murdering 4 people? But that's only the beginning of the issue. Sure, say you decide to murder 4 people on this mission. Why not just kill Owen then and there with a regular gun? It's way more ethical than leaving Owen to get eaten or to slowly burn Anakin style. But Military Man is a military type, remember? So he surely cares not for ethics or any other decent human quality. But why not kill Owen for practicality's sake? He's a loose end, and you don't know if he's gonna wake up before dying or not. We then get a quick cutaway of military man giving nothing but good news to his boss, Suit Guy, and for some reason Suit Guy gets like fucking heated. Like he yells at this little girl, says there can't be any more delays, and to get the animals to him right away. Like, yeah, that's literally what military man is reporting to you, that they have the dinosaurs and that they are coming. Why are you pressed? Back with Owen, we get a cute little moment from a dinosaur that really should have been running for its life. Like, the lava is close. I'm not an expert or anything, but wouldn't all that lava and heat cause fires as well? Like, I'm guessing here, because I really don't know, but I feel like Owen should have burned up already. Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. Meanwhile, Claire and the nerd are running from some bad dinosaur that is so close to getting them, but there's some lava in the way. By the way, this lava leak that keeps the dinosaur from mauling our characters to death is pretty cool. It's visually pleasing, it's scary knowing how close the threat is, the lava is a threat within itself, and it's not the typical Goofy running away while the dinosaur is so close to getting you and it just walked around the lava. Okay. Why didn't it do that earlier? There was more than enough time to notice the way through and make a move. Oh man, it's so close, I'm so nervous for our characters. Hurry, it's gonna get you. Like, why doesn't it just climb up the tube and kill them?
Because, Minwood, dinosaurs can't climb up tubes like that.
But it literally does the second they get out of the tube. And bullshit, they were able to just close the cap on its head like that. The crew then runs away from the volcano alongside the other dinosaurs, and honestly, this is a pretty cool scene. Just the chaos of all the dinosaurs running for their lives, but also nipping at each other, debris raining on them from above, it's good. Except when they stop to just watch some dinosaurs fight instead of continuing to run. That was kind of odd. Wait, the T-Rex is our friend? As everyone prepares to leave the island, we see that they're all going on one big boat. We get a quick moment where Military Man decides to be even more of a cliche military type when he takes a dinosaur's tooth, and everyone loads up onto the ship. It doesn't look like our main crew is gonna make it, so Claire runs ahead to start a conveniently abandoned truck, and wait, she's just going. Would it really have been the end if she just waited for them to be on the truck before she started moving? Because she has to drive slowly so they can get on, and I'm not sure that actually saved any time or not. When everyone's on the truck, Claire then guns it and manages to make a jump into a convenient parking spot on the boat that somehow no one notices. No one noticed that. I get that there's a lot going on right now, but how was no one looking back? Literally seconds later, everyone is looking at the back of the boat, so I'm not sure how they got away with that one. We end this part of the film by watching the dinosaurs all die on the island, and yeah, it's sad. Good job, Fallen Kingdom. You showed me innocent animals dying to tap into my emotions. You know what? Go ahead. Pat yourselves on the back. You've really earned it. Thus concludes the first arc of the movie, which I should mention was the best part of the entire film. Like I said, the lava wall was neat. Cool running shots, an entire circling one-shot drowning sequence I didn't mention. I'm pointing this out because while the beginning of the movie wasn't great, at this point, I'm not actually mad at the film. Unfortunately, it's all downhill from here. We now move on to the boat section of this movie. This entire section is essentially filler that could have been skipped over, but the movie needed a decent runtime, so here we are. First issue, which is a major issue throughout this part of the movie, is that literally no one ever sees, hears, or notices any of our characters sneaking around the dinosaurs at any point. Our group meets up to find Blue injured from a gunshot he took earlier, and Vet Girl informs us that they need blood and to remove the bullet.
I can't take the bullet out without a transfusion from another animal. Which one of you knows how to find a vein?
What, she can't find the vein herself? She literally says she's a dinosaur vet.
I'm a paleo-veterinarian. That's a real thing.
Anyways, Owen and Claire need to take blood from the sleeping T-Rex, and so we get a big scene where our two main characters need to make sure they don't wake it, because if they do, they'll totally die. Seriously though, no one hears any of this while it's going on. And if you think that's because there's just no one around,
That door's open.
I got it.
hey, the door's open. Are you kidding me? Check on the cargo, you fools! Sukai said earlier in the movie that each dinosaur is worth roughly $4 million. You can assume the T-Rex is worth more than that. You don't just find the door to $4 million worth of cargo open and not check on it. the T-Rex is literally throwing a fit after they close the door, but no. Let's not check on it. Let's just assume no one is messing with the extremely valuable DNA of the monster inside. There's honestly a decent amount of sneaking around throughout the scene, and it frustrates me so much that you wouldn't have guards everywhere protecting the cargo. We see both when they leave the island and arrive to the mainland that there is a fuck ton of crew members on this ship, but somehow the main cargo area has like 4 guards roaming around. Not to mention, no one checks on the T-Rex when it's throwing a fit, which lets Claire get on top of the cage, fully out in the open where anyone on the catwalks could see them. But there isn't anyone. So instead, our characters just have a, well, that just happened moment. Oh, look, you went and made Blue cry with how horrible this movie is panning out to be. Great going, guys. So the boat segment ends with our team waking up in the truck with Blue, and oh my god, how did you not see them? Hell, how did you not hear them? That's the front of the truck since we saw our crew climb in through the back, meaning this guy is just sitting there, forcing them all to be quiet this whole time. Except for earlier, when they were all just talking to each other. He must have just not been there. But then at some point, he entered the vehicle while not checking on Blue? We know this because everyone had to shift out of line of sight, implying that this was the first time he opened up the flap to make sure his special cargo that had been shot before departure made it through the journey. I guess he just never checked on Blue the entire time, despite Blue being shot, and never entered the truck that he was driving. Our team then just drives a truck out of there? I assume it was the one they drove in themselves, hence why no driver questioned them for taking their truck. But still, you would think that cargo of this value would have it so that every truck was recorded and accounted for, so that if anything went wrong, there would be a chain of accountability. Say a truck with a dinosaur just goes missing. What happens then? Is someone specific to blame? Or were all these guys just jumping into the first free truck they saw? Shouldn't every truck also have some sort of log or manifest on what they're carrying? And shouldn't, for the millionth time, someone be checking the goddamn trucks to make sure the cargo is, I don't know, alive? Oh yeah, poke at those dinosaurs before they can even move. That'll help the situation, guys. What are you looking at there, Rowan? Blue's down there. Where are you looking?
Give me your fucking money!
I haven't spoken at all about Old Man, but there really isn't much to say. He's the grandfather to this little girl who's been running around the mansion and put his fortune into Suit Guy's hands, assuming Suit Guy will carry on his legacy. Unfortunately, like Claire and Owen, Old Man was fooled into thinking that the dinosaurs were going to be saved, just to find out that Suit Guy deceived him. He scolds Suit Guy for doing this and tells Suit Guy to call the police on himself. Suit Guy, obviously not going to do that, instead kills Old Guy. Kind of a lame death, especially considering they broke his sick-ass cane that had the original mosquito in the handle. It's also a shame that everything that follows this moment in the movie could have been avoided if Old Man had just called the police himself and then lectured Suit Guy before the cops showed up. Suit Guy then informs the caregiver that she can fuck off and that Suit Guy then informs the caregiver that she can fuck off and that the little girl is now his, which makes me think I misunderstood who this guy is. Like, we're told he was entrusted to the business side of things, and sure, he lived at the mansion with them. But last I checked, there was no legal family connection, so to just claim the kid like she's up for grabs seems a little bit odd. Especially since he's shown like no interest in her whatsoever. Who knows, maybe it's because she's an artificially created human or something. Like I said, spoilers. Which also I don't see as a big deal. I went to high school with someone who's a test tube baby and they seem no different, so I don't get why her being artificial really matters.
Hello. You should have stayed on the island. Better odds.
How would this have been better odds? Our main duo then find themselves imprisoned. Suit Guy and Military Man stop by to point and laugh, and Suit Guy decides to give a speech about how they're not so different and that he's still saving the dinosaurs. But this entire scene, I'm just sitting here like, why not kill them? You've made it clear you're okay with murdering these people, so just do it.
Hey, let him go.
Just shoot him! There is no reason to keep the loose ends alive! Military Man's next line is literally him asking how they're going to kill these people, and Suit Guy says that everyone thinks they've died on the island. But then the scene cuts away and they don't kill them? What are you waiting for?
You betrayed a dying man for money.
Wait, how does Claire know that? Like, Suit Guy and Old Man both pitched her the Save the Dinosaurs plan together. How does she not know the Old Man is really the mastermind behind all of this? Like, given the scale of the operation going on here, I would 100% assume that Old Man was in on it from the start, or at the very least aware that it's happening.
This is not your fault. This one's on me.
Oh no. This one's on me. By the way, they just left Owen and Claire unguarded after this. There is a seemingly infinite number of mercenaries around, but not one could just watch over these two. Or watch over, I don't know, the goddamn dinosaurs?
We're getting out of here.
What? What could you mean by that? After nearly getting his balls crushed, Owen is able to get them out of the jail cell, the completely unguarded jail cell, and immediately him and Claire just abduct this little girl. Like, it's actually kind of creepy how they lure her out of her hiding spot and just earn her trust. Maybe they belong in those cells after all. But I'm not kidding. They find this kid and straight up ask her to go with them. I get that Owen and Claire are the good guys, but this is kidnapping. Not to mention they have no clue that old man, the little girl's grandfather, who Claire assumes is still a good guy, is dead, as well that the caretaker was told to fuck off. Like, Claire met both of those people earlier in the movie. She can't just assume that the little girl is now being held here against her will. But she does. And now I guess this is just their kid. At the auction, we get the reveal of the Gigaraptor. Yeah, you poke that thing real good, boys. Make it nice and angry. These rich people, you see, they get hard seeing animals in pain, so don't ease up. It's during this presentation that we are introduced to the Giga Gun. The Giga Gun can control the Gigaraptor just by pointing a laser and, like a cat, the raptor will pounce. Also, this poor fucking guy, you know he shit his pants hard when they just straight up used him as the test dummy. Now, Gigaraptor wasn't supposed to be for sale, but people started bidding anyway, so Sukai rolls with it.
$8 million right now. Relax. We'll make some more. So will they.
This line is important. Remember it. Owen and Claire crash the party with a dinosaur, and just like that, all hell breaks loose.
Get this thing out of here!
Why? Who cares if it stays or not? Like, it's in a cage regardless. Also, why does Owen work so hard to prevent them from moving it to storage? Oh, I see. It's so military man can get his comeuppance. Yeah, man, you get into the cage with it and go close to its mouth, sure. Also, I get that the raptors are supposed to be really smart, but how does that explain the tranquilizers not working? I'm sure you could come up with some sci-fi DNA type bullshit where it just doesn't happen to work on this special type of monster, sure. But then, how did it know to play asleep? Like, it knew what the tranquilizer gun's purpose was, so it must have had some effect? You get what my point is here? If not, I'll spell it out for you. This is stupid. Oh, and would you look at that? It's the consequences of my own actions. Yes! The NPC audience shouts as the one-dimensional military-type character gets his offensively ironic death.
Maisie, come with me.
You got your money. Walk away.
Oh, for the love of all that is good, just shoot them. They are literally kidnapping who you consider to be your child. What more do you need? No one heard them coming? Really? Okay, that's convenient. A dinosaur! I better run up close to shoot it. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Oh look, Giga Gun is just conveniently sitting on the ground, which makes you wonder, how did this idiot die to a dinosaur that he literally had control over? But he couldn't just point the fucking laser on the floor or something? Unable to get the Giga Gun, Owen and the gang now have to hide from the Gigaraptor in a sequence that is both confusing as well as frustrating. So basically the status quo of this movie so far. Like, we were told about the raptors being able to smell, but Buddy can't smell the gang literally right beneath him. I can hear the smelling, man. I know he's doing it. Oh no, a random radio gave them away. Cause why demonstrate the raptor's intelligence by having it figure out where our characters are hiding in some clever manner when you can just use some bullshit radio? Wait, what? Did you guys see that? This guy was right behind the gang while landing on the ground, and then boom, they're already climbing the stairs? No time passed between cuts. We literally see the raptor continue to brace from the landing, yet somehow the little girl is already halfway up the stairs? Oh, it's gonna get you! It's going to get our two main characters and a child! I'm really scared for our characters, guys! Watch out, Owen! Man, I hope Owen doesn't die! So then the Gigaraptor loses them again, and wait! He's sniffing again! So they really can smell. But then the sniffing just doesn't work. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. It literally just doesn't work. Owen then turns the lights off as if that would somehow help them. Like, I swear this thing could just smell you. If anything, you gave it the advantage because it can move around in the dark. Not to mention that raptors' eyesight is presumed to be way better than humans. So turning off the lights basically gave the Gigaraptor an 8 to 10 times advantage not including the smell bonus. I now understand, by the way, that Blue being able to turn his smelling on and off earlier in the movie was just foreshadowing to Gigaraptor doing the exact same thing. I see the clever writing. I was just a fool to think raptors couldn't turn their sense of smell on and off at will. Also, Owen turning off the power was just like him preventing the raptor cage from being moved to safety, as viewers were supposed to just sit there and go,
Yeah, he's the smart hero, and he's doing smart things.
but he's not! He's actively making the situation worse. None of this would have happened if he had let them put the Gigaraptor away, but no. He just had to stop the bad guy's orders. What's more frustrating is that his plan of turning out the lights works. They aren't caught until the lights come back on, and then it's like, oh no, it sees you again! This is embarrassing. What am I watching? Remember when I called the lava wall a cool deterrent? This is the exact opposite. You can't just put a bunch of random debris in the way and have the so-called smartest predator chomp at you like this. Also, it just stopped attacking its cornered prey to go chase the girl, who, rather than sneaking away, screams, letting the otherwise unaware raptor know where she is. This was not done in an attempt to save Owen and Claire, by the way. This girl was just bailing and let out a siren while she was doing it. The raptor then runs into literally everything and anything it can while chasing the girl, but somehow can't break through a thin wooden hatch. I don't know anymore. Owen and Claire then make out for a bit, which I guess means they're back together now. So now their history is they dated, broke up, dated, broke up, and now they're dating again and also adopting a child. I didn't mention it earlier, but she totally left him for being poor last time around. Like, it was the fact that he didn't have a home that Claire left this guy, and he just straight up takes her back again. I give them 3 months before the next breakup, where they both willingly give away the custody of the child they stole. Meanwhile, Gigaraptor has made its way to the roof of the mansion, where it turned its smelling back on again to locate the little girl in her room. She could have gone anywhere else and she went to her room? She escaped the raptor by hiding in the laundry lift. Why not just pulley yourself up a bit and hide in the walls until you know it's safe to come out? Or go down to the basement or anywhere else that isn't the main house that the raptor is currently in. Oh, now it's smart? It stumbles and crashes for the last 10 minutes, but instead of punching through the window, it just knows how to open it? Also, is this girl stupid? I get being petrified, but you've been running all movie long and had more than enough time to escape back to the established safe laundry lift. Luckily for the girl, the raptor decides to take half the movie to kill her. Yep, this is for no other reason than to give Owen enough time to come in guns a-blazing. He shoots the shit out of the raptor, and it hurts it a bit, but unfortunately he only had 3 shots. Side note, why didn't the raptor play dead? That's an established characteristic that honestly could have worked here, but I guess it's only smart when it comes to people who, in the movie's opinion, deserve to die.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Okay, not sure how Blue found them or even got to them. Last we saw Blue, he just escaped death down in the basement. I guess he turned his nose on and took the stairs. Either way, he should be getting his shit rocked by the Gigaraptor, but Gigaraptor prefers to just flail around and cause a scene rather than actually fight. Holy shit, did Blue do that? I know in reality he didn't, but my headcanon says otherwise. And now we find ourselves at the final showdown. Owen and the little girl are cornered, and the only way things could be worse is if... Okay. But don't worry, Claire is here, and Jesus, Claire, don't break the fucking Giga Gun, we need that! Holy shit! Claire and Owen then use their telepathic powers to communicate a oh yeah, by the way, Owen and the little girl just climbed back up. I don't know why they fell. I didn't even write this part in the script. I just remembered they just climbed back up and there was no reason for them to fall. They even had a close-up shot of the thing Owen was holding onto, cracking, but they just climbed back up. I feel like I needed to include that. Anyways, Claire and Owen then use their telepathic powers to communicate a convoluted plan that no 2 humans would ever figure out with nothing but eye contact and a nod. Seriously though, why not just shout the plan? The raptor doesn't speak English. You can just tell each other what you're thinking. But no, Claire aims the laser at fucking Owen instead of, I don't know, the glass it's standing on? Did I miss the part where they said the laser had to be pointed at organic matter? Okay, another side note, I went back to watch the explanation of the gun again just to make sure I didn't miss them saying the gun could only work on people or organic matter, and they don't say that. They just say point the laser to lock on a target and use the acoustic signal to launch the attack. So that's all fine. But then in the introduction of the Gigaraptor, they literally mention a heightened sense of smell. Fuck you, Fallen Kingdom. This shit is so stupid. So now that we know the dinosaur dinosaur will just attack wherever the laser is pointing, I ask once again, why not just point it at the glass or literally anywhere else other than Owen? But okay, I think I get what the plan is here. She presses the button, the dinosaur will attack and will fall through the glass, which we know can't hold its weight. Nice, that's still a decent plan, and oh my god, he's running at it. And he slid under the dinosaur, man, what the fuck? This was so complicated when it didn't have to be. I am beyond done with this film. When I first watched this in theaters, my brain actually couldn't figure out what was happening. I didn't get why she pointed the gun at Owen, I didn't get why Owen started running at the raptor, and to this day, I don't understand how it worked. But wait, there's more. Gigaraptor isn't going down that easily. I'm not sure how this raptor is even a threat anymore. You guys literally have the gun that controls it. Like, just start pointing the laser places to distract it. I don't know, make it attack a fucking tree or something. Like, just get out of there. Cool, but where did Blue come from? I guess Gigaraptor didn't kill him and he also made his way to a neighboring roof just to make a jump that is much farther than it looks. Fine, I don't care anymore. I'm just done. I just want it to end. The last conflict our team has to deal with is that while everyone was running around the mansion, the basement was flooding with gas and it's slowly killing all of the other dinosaurs. Claire lets all the dinosaurs out of their cages, but the only way to truly escape from the gas is to let them out of the mansion. The ethical dilemma is that Claire has to choose between freeing the dinosaurs and letting them run rampant, or having them all die here and now. Of course, this decision is being represented by a fuck off big red button. Now, Claire decides to make the tough decision and keep the dinosaurs locked inside. A decision I actually agree with. I mean, look, in ethical dilemmas such as this, there is no right decision. But considering the human lives that would be put in danger if these dinosaurs got out, paired with the fact that these animals were literally all brought back from the dead once already, implying that they can do it again, leads me to feel that this is the way it has to. Hey, what the fuck? Not only did the little girl let them all out, but the movie acts like she did the brave thing.
They're alive, like me.
Well, I can assure you a lot of people won't be alive pretty soon. Seriously though, this was the scene that made me think, back in 2018, that I needed to tell the world that this movie was fucking awful. The entire premise of the film is essentially that these animals are going extinct, and we need to do what we can to preserve them. And again, I'm all for animal rights and protecting endangered species. I'm all for sending people to Dinosaur Island to retrieve animals. But the whole "let's save the animals" shtick doesn't really work when the animals in question had already gone extinct once. All the dinosaurs died again? Bummer. Why not just make more? The movie strongly suggests that that's exactly what many of the buyers were going to do when they got their own dinosaurs.
Relax. We'll make some more. So will they.
They were going to replicate the DNA and make their own. So if your argument on letting the animals out of the gas chamber is because they'd go extinct, I really doubt that. If they can do it once, they can do it again. People will 100% harvest these corpses for DNA and make more. If you're arguing from a moral standpoint that it's wrong to let them die, I guarantee letting them out will cause more havoc than death. From dinosaurs hunting humans, to humans hunting dinosaurs, to the animals fighting each other, to the exposure of new bacteria and diseases. Hell, you can't even bring food to other countries to avoid exposure, let alone dinosaurs. And I don't mean dinosaurs spreading new diseases as they go. I also expect many of the dinosaurs to fall ill rather quickly. I don't think any of the dinosaurs would realistically stand a chance in the wild, but if they did, just imagine for a second how fucked up the ecosystem would get with so many new creatures getting introduced so abruptly. No, the dinosaurs should have died here, as tragic as it is. At the very least, they had the kid make the boneheaded decision and not an adult, but it still doesn't excuse the potential ecological genocide they all just participated in causing. Even the T-Rex escaped. Man, so many people are going to die.
It's okay, she won't hurt us.
But she could. Big animals are dangerous, even when... You know what? No, I'm done. Have this moment, Owen. I don't care. I'm really just done at this point. And there goes Blue, off to slaughter dozens. We finish with a little montage of dinosaurs showing up in the day-to-day lives of people, and all I can really do is roll my eyes. Hey, they did steal the little girl after all, and I guess they think their third time dating will definitely go better now that they have a kid. Like, all of this could have been avoided 10 times over. Don't build your dinosaur park on an island with a volcano. Don't backstab the people trying to help retrieve the dinosaurs. When you do backstab said people, actually kill them when you get the chance. Call the police. Have competent employees who actually log manifests and don't walk up to dinosaurs before shooting them. So much could have been done to avoid there having to be a grand final decision, but nothing was done and a decision had to be made. and they made the wrong one. Hopefully now you understand why I have zero plans to watch the final movie in this trilogy. It was lazy, inconsistent, and I'm offended that I spent money on this garbage. The premise is fundamentally flawed, the action is more exciting when you treat it as a joke, and the message the movie sends is nice enough, but falls flat due to the writers not considering the real-world implications of introducing new species into the wild en masse. So yeah, tell me what you think in the comments, because I'm curious if anyone has a similar viewing experience to this movie, or if it was just me. And with that, I'll leave you. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Jurassic World.
Oh, shut up.